Hello there everybody, how is it going and how have you been? I am EuclideanSqd, and welcome back to Duel Links. Now, really quick, I am aware that there's that event duelist, the unknown duelist running around. The video is not covering her simply because the event is almost over, and the main reason I'm not doing anything is just because I haven't had the time to record, but the long story short regarding this event character, just bring a deck packed full of your high level, high attack power monsters. Because there's a special rule in play when you duel her that says that you don't have to tribute summon to play high-level monsters. So just throw down all of your beefy attack power stuff, and you're like 9 times out of 10 you'll keep her stuff at bay more than long enough for you to draw your like Gravekeeper's Vassal, Secret Pass, and 2 Union attacks to win for game. She is by far the easiest event duelist in a long time. But enough about this other character. We are here to open some packs. And specifically, this is going to be the main box, as well as a structure deck that released alongside the new Duel World. Yes, I know that happened over a week ago at this point. Like I said, I have been busy and haven't had time to record. So let's go ahead and take a look at the structure deck first, simply because it's going to be the smaller of the two. And fair amount of cards from previous means, or boxes. There we go, that's the term I'm trying to find. Let's see, we have Spellbook of Power, we have Power of the Guardians. This is actually a really good equipped spell despite being a normal. Lots of interesting stuff in here. We've got access to more polymerizations. Like, we really need any more. So many characters give you copies of polymerization. But in terms of the new cards, let's look at the rare and work our way up. So we have that Chaos Form Ritual spell, which you could also get through a skill for this new movie version of Kaiba. But basically, this ritual spell says that it can be used to ritual summon any Chaos or Blackluster Soldier ritual monster. You must also tribute monsters from your hand or field and or banish Blue Eyes White Dragon or Dark Magician from your graveyard, whose total levels exactly equal to the level of the Chaos or Blackluster Soldier ritual monster you ritual summon. So I suppose that is why that there is Magician of Black Chaos in this structure deck as well, because it's Chaos, it's Chaos Ritual. So interesting ritual spell. Moving on, we have Keeper of Dragon Magic. Level 4 Dark Dragon, 1800 attack, 1300 defense. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can discard 1 card, add 1 Polymerization normal spell card, or Fusion normal spell card from your deck to your hand. So it searches out Polymerization, so that's actually pretty good. You can reveal 1 Fusion monster in your extra deck. Special summon 1 of the fusion materials whose name is specifically listed on that monster from your graveyard in face-down defense position. You can only use each effect of Keeper of Dragon Magic once per turn. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except fusion monsters the turn you activate either of this card's effects. So, thematically, I believe that this is supposed to work with like the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and specifically the Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon you can get through another Kaiba skill. A little mad that I've already leveled up Movie Kaiba all the way to 30, because that actually would have been fun to play around with in a Blue Eyes Ultimate deck. But anyway, interesting card. It's nice that it doesn't specifically say it has to be Blue Eyes, so you could use this in like an Elemental Hero Fusion deck, for example, and it should work just as good. Moving on to the other super rare, we have Arisen, Gaia the Fierce Knight. Level 7 Dark Warrior, 2300 attack, 2100 defense. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can normal summon this card without tributing. Always a fun effect. If this card is tributed, you can special summon 1 Blackluster Soldier monster from your hand or graveyard. You can only use this effect of Arisen Gaia the Fierce Knight once per turn. When you ritual summon a Blackluster Soldier monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard as one of the monsters required for the ritual summon. Okay. Lots of powerful effects. I don't know if there's going to be a Blackluster Soldier in this structure deck, but there are. The original ritual monster is in one of the earliest boxes, and I think there's like 1 or 2 versions you can buy from the card trader. Moving on, though, we have Advanced Ritual Art. This card can be used to ritual summon any ritual monster. However, you must also send normal monsters from your deck to the graveyard whose total levels equal the level of that ritual monster. Okay, so works with anything, but you have to use normals. So probably best in a very normal monster heavy deck. Though your ritual monster could have effects. At that point, it doesn't matter. Pardon me, just double checking the... Okay, yeah, recording's still good. There we go. Then we have Dark Cavalry. Level 8 Dark Spellcaster Fusion, 2800 attack, 2300 defense. Uses Dark Magician and 1 Warrior type monster. Gains 100 attack for each spell trap on the field and in the graveyards. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. When a card or effect is activated that targets a card on the field, as a quick effect, you can discard a card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. This is an insanely powerful fusion monster. Dark Magician plus any warrior type in the game, and you get something that is going to at least be a 2900 since you're spending a polymerization to create it. It does piercing damage, and you can just negate any card your opponent plays that tries to target stuff on the field, so long as you discard for it. That's really good. That's almost... I'd almost say that's better than Dark Paladin. Because I think Dark Paladin... Oh, I can't remember if Dark Paladin activates under, like, similar if it targets any condition, or if it's specifically if your opponent tries to use something that targets your monster. But the final new card is Magician of Chaos. Level 7 Dark Ritual, 2500 attack, 2100 defense. You can ritual summon this card with Chaos form. This card's name becomes Dark Magician while on the field or in the graveyard. Once per turn, when a spell, trap card, or effect is activated, as a quick effect, you can target 1 card on the field and destroy it. Okay, that's a little insane considering all of those Dark Magician, like, spell support stuff that they released a few months ago. If this ritual summoned card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 Chaos or Blackluster Soldier ritual monster from your hand, except Magician of Chaos, ignoring its summoning conditions. Okay, so you could replace it with the Black Magician of Chaos... Black Magician? Magician of Black Chaos. You could replace it with any Blackluster Soldier, so... yeah, that's a very powerful ritual monster. Alright. Now, that was the structure deck. Let's go on to the main box, and finally, start opening up some packs. So, don't worry, like I said, I'm not going to spend all 7,000 gems on this box. I do want to open up at least 30 or 40, one of the two. So to start with, we have Power Frame. Regular trap card. When a face-up monster you control is targeted for an attack by a monster with a higher attack, target the attack target, negate that attack, and if you do, equip this card to that target. Okay, that's a very complicated sentence to basically say negate the attack and then equip this thing to your monster that was being attacked. The equipped monster gains attack equal to the difference between its attack and the attack of its attacker when this card resolves. Alright, so again, very complicated sentences, but basically stops your opponent from attacking one of your monsters, and then this thing will equip to your monster and make it as strong as the opponent's monster. It's actually a pretty cool trap card. Boot Up Soldier, Dread Dynamo, a level 4 Earth Machine, no attack, 2000 defense. While you control a gadget monster, this card gains 2000 attack. Alright, simple enough. So as we saw on... it's either like the event banner, or actually we can see them right over here. The gadgets have been added to the game, and we got Green Gadget. Level 4 Earth Machine, 1400 attack, 600 defense. When this card is normal or special summoned, you can add 1 red gadget from your deck to your hand. So if I remember correctly, the gadgets all tend to help you search out one of their companions, and then there's some other monsters in this set that like get to activate their effects so long as a gadget was in play. Continuing on, pack number 2, we have Sword Slasher. A level 5 Dark Machine, normal monster, 1450 attack, 1500 defense, absolutely garbage. Oh, a new Gravekeepers. Gravekeepers Shaman. Level 6 Dark Spellcaster, 1500 attack, 1500 defense. This card gains 200 defense for each Gravekeepers monster in your graveyard. Negate all monster effects that activate in the graveyard except Gravekeeper monsters. While Necro Valley is on the field, your opponent cannot activate field spell cards, and also field spell cards can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Okay, so I think I did see that Necro Valley, the field spell, is in this box somewhere as well. So Shaman actually gives it a lot of protection. And then we have Karakuri Clock. Regular trap card. Activate only when a face-up defense position Karakuri monster is selected as an attack target. Destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls. Okay, that's a dangerous trap. So I'm guessing there's at least one Karakuri in this box, probably another one. Alright. Turret Warrior. Level 5 Earth Warrior, 1200 attack, 2000 defense. You can special summon this card from your hand by tributing one warrior type monster. And if you do, it gains attack equal to the tributed monster's original attack. Very nice. Plenty of high attack power, low level warriors, like 1700, 1800. Tribute any of those, and you suddenly have a 3000 attack point monster on the field. This thing's I'm actually kind of surprised that's a normal. Pandemic Dragon. Level 7 Dark Dragon, 2500 attack, 1000 defense. Once per turn, you can pay life points in multiples of 100. Other face-up monsters on the field lose that much attack. Once per turn, you can target one monster on the field with attack less than or equal to this card's and destroy it. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, all face-up monsters on the field lose 1000 attack. Okay, so obviously it's poisonous. I mean, its wing scythe things even make the biohazard symbol. So I don't think that initial attack dropping effect is permanent, or there's a word I can't think of it. Basically, like if I were to pay 500 life points, it would only affect the stuff that is currently in play, and any monsters that my opponent may play after that point don't immediately lose 500. So you do kind of keep hemorrhaging life points to keep using this thing's effects, or at least the first effect. So if you want to use it, probably need some sort of healing engine in play. And then we have Karakuri Watchdog, Model 313 Saizan. Level 4 Earth Machine Tuner, 600 attack, 1800 defense. This card must attack if it is able. When this face-up card is selected as an attack target, change its battle position. Note that means if this thing is in defense mode, it will switch to attack mode, so be careful about that. When you take battle damage from a battle involving this card, all face-up Karakuri monsters you control gain 800 attack and defense until the end phase. While this card is in face-up attack position, it cannot be destroyed by battle. Oh, okay, so that's actually alright then. I mean, you'll take a significant amount of life points and damage, but at least it'll go up to a 1400 and kind of cushion further incoming attacks. Kinda. It is a tuner though, which is nice. We have Dark Magic Twin Burst. Regular spell card. Target one Dark Magician you control. It gains attack equal to the combined attack of all Dark Magician girls currently on the field and in the graveyards until the end of this turn. You can only activate one Dark Magic Twin Burst per turn, so basically you can give one of your Dark Magicians up to 6,000 attack points with the spell card. Okay. We have our first reprint, Karakuri Cash Shed, Counter Trap card. Activate only if you control a Karakuri monster in face-up defense position, negate the activation of an opponent's spell trap card, and destroy it. Then we have Ancient Gear Reborn. Lots of archetypes being featured in this box. Continuous Trap card. Once per turn, if you control no monsters, you can target one Ancient Gear monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and if you do, it gains 200 attack, even if this card leaves the field. You can only control one Ancient Gear Reborn. Alright. It doesn't say ignoring summoning conditions, so you can't revive an Ancient Gear Golem with this thing, but plenty of ways to use just getting a free monster. Plenty of ways for you to take advantage of that. Element Saber Nalu, level 3 Water Warrior, 1500 attack, 1000 defense. Once per turn, you can send one Element Saber monster from your hand to the graveyard, then target one Element Saber or Elemental Lord monster in your graveyard, except Nalu, and add it to your hand. Okay, so I guess that's a new archetype. I've never heard of these things before. Once per turn, if this card is in the graveyard, you can declare an attribute. This card in the graveyard becomes that attribute until the end of this turn. I assume that will have more to do with Element Saber and Elemental Lord effects. Ally of Justice, 1000 Arms. Level 4 Dark Machine, 1700 attack, 0 defense. This card can attack all face-up light monsters your opponent controls once each. If this card battles a non-light monster, destroy this card before damage calculation. So you'd probably want to use a trap card like, what is it, DNA Transplant, that lets you change the attribute of all monsters on the field. And then we have Rite of Spirit, regular trap card. Target one Gravekeeper's monster in your graveyard. Special summon that target. This card's activation and effect are unaffected by Necro Valley. Yeah, Fusion Tag, another reprint, and this is a bit of a weird spell card. You target a monster you control, then reveal a fusion monster in your extra deck. And if you do, the targeted monster's name can be treated as the revealed fusion monsters if used for a fusion summon. So, as the image kind of subtly implies, you could use this to change your monster's name to Flame Wingman, Elemental Hero Flame Wingman, if you are then going to fuse it with a Sparkman to create Elemental Hero Shining Flare Wingman. So, like I said, very odd spell effect to wrap your head around, but might be good sometimes. Illusionist Faceless Mage, level 5 Dark Spellcaster, normal monster, 1200 attack, 2200 defense. Defense is okay at least. Then we have Invoked Caliga. Alright, level 4 Dark Beast Fusion, 1000 attack, 1800 defense. Requires Alistair the Invoker, the Invoker, and 1 Dark Monster. No idea what that is, but alright. If a player's monster effect attempts to activate, none of that player's monsters can activate their effects for the rest of this turn while this card is face up on the field. Each player can attack with only 1 monster during each battle phase. Alright, so the second one I get, but I'm a little confused about the first one. Is it saying that if either player tries to activate monster effects, like, obviously they can't activate any effects afterwards on that turn, but does this thing's effect then activate in response and negate the first one? I'm not sure. Weird fusion, but alright. Gravekeeper's Heretic, level 4 Dark Spellcaster, 1800 attack, 1500 defense. This card on the field is unaffected by all other card effects as long as Necro Valley is also on the field. That's a pretty good effect. We've got another Faceless Mage, and Dark Magic Veil. Regular spell card, pay 1000 life points, special summon 1 Dark Spellcaster type monster from your hand or graveyard. This is kind of a ridiculously powerful spell card. Obviously meant to be used for Dark Magicians and Dark Magician Girls, but it can be used for any Dark Spellcasters, so have fun. Boost Warrior. Level 1 Fire Warrior, 300 attack, 200 defense. If you control a face-up tuner monster, you can special summon this card from your hand in face-up defense position. All warrior-type monsters you control gain 300 attack. Alright, I suppose you're probably going to use it more to just get an extra level into a synchro summoning, but maybe you can make use of that 300 attack. Paradox Fusion, reprint card, counter trap. When a monster would be special summoned or spell trap activated, banish 1 face-up fusion monster you control to negate the special summon or activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Also, during your second end phase, return the banished fusion monster to your field in face-up attack position. So basically, you give up one of your fusion monsters for 2 turns, and in exchange you can negate either special summoning or your opponent's spell trap card. Dark Horizon. Regular trap card. When you take battle or effect damage, special summon 1 Dark Spellcaster type monster from your deck with attack less than or equal to the damage you took. Okay. If you take enough damage, that could be a free Dark Magician, but you're probably going to go for a lower powered Dark Spellcaster. Element Saber Makani. Level 2 Wind Warrior, 1300 attack, 1200 defense. Once per turn, you can send 1 Element Saber monster from your hand to the graveyard, add 1 Element Saber or Elemental Lord monster from your deck to your hand, except for Makani. Once per turn, if this card is in the graveyard, you can declare an attribute. This card in the graveyard becomes that attribute till the end of the turn. Right? You got a Power Frame and a Rite of Spirit. So duplicates on pack 9 already. Key Mace. Level 1 Light Fairy, 400 attack, 300 defense, normal monster. Ugh. Karakuri Gold Dust. Quick play spell, and this is another reprint. Activate only during the battle phase. Select 2 face-up Karakuri monsters in attack position. Change one of the selected monsters to defense position, and the other gains attack equal to the attack of the monster that was changed to defense position until the end phase. basically makes one card stronger at the expense of not letting the other one attack. And we have Elemental Training. Continuous trap card. Your opponent cannot target Palace of the Elemental Lords you control with card effects. Also, it cannot be destroyed by card effects. Not entirely sure what that is, but okay. Once per turn, you contribute one monster. Special summon one Element Saber monster from your deck with a different original attribute from that monster's. You can send this face-up card from the field to the graveyard, then discard your entire hand, then add Elemental Lord monsters from your graveyard to your hand equal to the number of cards discarded. Those Elemental Lords have to be really powerful if you're willing to throw away your entire hand like that. And anyway, we're... even after getting distracted by the structure deck, we've already spent about like 13 minutes on this, on packs, I think, so I'm going to try and go a little bit faster. Starting off, we have Shifting Shadows. Continue a spell card. Once per turn, by paying 300 life points, rearrange the face-down defense position monsters on your side of the field, then return them to face-down defense position. Okay, so I guess you can use this to kind of mess with your opponent and kind of shuffle up where your high defense or your flip effect monsters might be. Interesting spell. Another Garbage Sword Slasher. Fusion Weapon. Reprint card. Equip spell. Equip only to a level 6 or lower fusion monster, but it gains 1500 attack and defense. Very powerful. Very powerful card. Master Craftsman Gamel. Level 2 Fire Pyro. 200 attack and defense. During either player's damage step, when a face-up monster you control is attacking or being attacked, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, and that monster gains 300 attack until the end of this turn. Okay, that could help. That could help. There's a couple of archetypes out there that are a little bit kind of below on the power curve, like aliens, for example. So just giving them an extra 300 attack can actually be quite useful. Though I don't think that thing could really fit into an alien deck. But anyway, got another Gravekeeper's Heretic, and we have Fusion Parasite. Alright, what does this do? Level 1 Dark Insect, no attack and defense. This card can be used as a substitute for any one fusion material whose name is specifically listed on the fusion monster card, but the other fusion materials must be correct. So it's a fusion substitute. Cannot be used as fusion material otherwise, okay? So you can't use it in place of, say, a one dark monster. It has to specifically be something like Dark Magician. If this card is special summoned, except during the damage step, you can fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters you control as fusion materials, including this card. That's actually kind of cool. So if you manage to special summon it, if you special summon this thing, you can instantly fusion summon without having to use polymerization or a similar spell card. That's actually kind of cool. I kind of like that card. Omega Summon. Regular trap card. Target any number of your banished invoked monsters with different names and special summon them in defense position. I'd have more of an opinion on this if I knew more about these invoked things. Gravekeeper's Spiritualist. Level 4 Dark Spellcaster, 1500 attack and defense. During your main phase, if Necro Valley is on the field, you can fusion summon one Spellcaster type fusion monster from your extra deck using this card you control and other monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. You can only use this effect of Gravekeeper's Spiritualist once per turn, so again, another thing that lets you fusion summon without using polymerization. And Gravekeeper's Descendant. Level 4 Dark Spellcaster, 1500 attack, 1200 defense. You can tribute one other face-up Gravekeeper's monster to target one card your opponent controls and destroy that target. Pretty cool. Pretty cool effect. I think there's, what is it, Gravekeeper's Recruiter that lets you search out another Gravekeeper's when it's sent to the graveyard? But enough about that. We got a Rainbow Pack. Maybe we got an Ultra Rare? Maybe? Dark Shade, level 3 Wind Fiend. Normal monster, 1000 attack and defense. Not that great. Ancient Gear Gadgetron Chimera. Level 6 Earth Machine. 2300 attack, 1300 defense. This card gains the appropriate effects if you normal summon it by tributing these monsters. If you tribute a green gadget, this card gains 300 attack. If you tributed a red gadget, this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent. If this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, inflict another, I think that's another 500 damage to your opponent. It's either a 5 or a 9, I can't tell, it's too small. And if you attributed a yellow gadget, if this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, inflict 700 damage to your opponent. I think there were actually some other, like, wasn't Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon also have an effect if you attribute a gadget to summon it? Although to be fair, the strategy is typically just special summon it by destroying Gear Town, but anyway. We got a super rare Network Trap Hole. Regular trap card. When your opponent special summons a monster from the main deck or graveyard, banish it face down. So that just permanently removes it from the game. That's actually a really nice trap card. That's a really, really nice trap card. It's a hard counter to stuff like Ubel. I think it can technically counter some Blue Eyes summons sometimes. Good trap card all around. Celtic Guard of Noble Arms. Level 4 Earth Warrior, 2100 attack, 700 defense. Cannot attack while you have any cards in your hand. Once per turn, you can special summon one Celtic Guard monster from your hand. When this attacking card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can draw cards equal to the number of Celtic Guard monsters you control. So Celtic Guardian of all monsters got his own, like, subset of cards? His own little, like, archetype? And I can't help but notice that this thing says Noble Arms, so it probably has some synergy with other, like, Noble Arms and Noble Knight monsters. Got another Gravekeeper Spiritualist, and we got a Synchro monster. The level 7 Earth Machine Synchro Samurai Destroyer. 2600 attack, 1400 defense. Accepts any tuner and non-tuner. Very good. If this card battles an opponent's monster, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. Also, that opponent's monster has its effects negated during the battle phase only. Very cool, so it's like a buffed version of Ancient Gear effects. If this face-up card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you can target one machine-type monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Very cool. Very cool. I like that synchro. Moving on. We got another Gadgetron Chimera. We got Prevention Star, an Equip spell. Equip only to a monster you control if it was changed from face-up attack to face-up defense position this turn. Okay. Select one monster your opponent controls. That monster cannot attack or change its battle position. When the equipped monster is destroyed and this card is sent to the graveyard, remove from play the selected monster. Weird. So if I switch my monster from attack to defense, I can then give it Prevention Star. And then that will effectively keep one of my opponent's monsters from doing anything. And then if the equipped monster happens to be destroyed and Prevention Star goes to the grave, that monster of my opponent's is banished. Sounds like a powerful spell card, but I don't know how good it actually is. Alright. Invoked Magalenica? Level 8 Earth Rock Fusion, 3000 attack, 3300 defense. Created from Alistair the Invoker and one Earth monster. And it was a super rare. I just noticed that. It's a bit late and I'm a bit tired. Anyway, we have Kiwi Magician Girl. Oh, so the... Jeez, how many archetypes are in this box? There's Celtic Guards, there's Gadgets, there's Gravekeepers, there's these like special, like additional Magician Girl monsters. Level 5 Wind Spellcaster, 1800 attack, 1200 defense. During either player's turn, you can discard this card. Magician Girl monsters you currently control gain 300 attack and defense for each Magician Girl monster with different names on the field and in the graveyards until the end of this turn. Spellcaster type monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects, and your opponent cannot target them with card effects. This is actually a really powerful card. And for anyone who isn't quite sure, Kiwi Magician Girl, I remember looking this up a while ago, like years ago. She's one of, I think, 5 Magician Girl monsters who are kind of meant to synergize more with Dark Magician Girl than Dark Magician. Anyway, Karakuri Gold Dust, Elemental Training, Element Saber Malo, Level 3 Fire Warrior, 1700 attack, 200 defense. Once per turn, you can send one Elemental Saber monster from your hand to the graveyard. Select one Element Saber or Elemental Lord monster from your deck. Send one Element Saber or Elemental Lord monster from your deck to the graveyard, except Malo. Once per turn, if this card is in the graveyard, you can declare an attribute. This card in the graveyard becomes the attribute until the end of the turn. Alright, so I think that's meant to work with the what was it? Elemental Training, that continuous trap card that we just got in the last pack. Specifically, the effect that says you can send it and every card in your hand to the graveyard and then recover Elemental Lords. So specifically, I think Mallow is meant to help you send Elemental Lords into the graveyard for that. Got another Cash Shed, and yet another reprint. Card Query Strategist, Model 248, Nishipachi, Level 3, Earth Machine Tuner, 500 attack, 1600 defense. This card has to attack if it's able to. When this face-up attack position card is selected as an attack target, change it to defense position. And when this card is normal or special summoned, you can select a monster on the field and just change its battle position. Very nice. We got another fusion tag. We have Stand-In. Continuous. Quick play spell card. Tribute one monster, then target one monster in your opponent's graveyard with the same original type and attribute. Special summon it to your field. You can only activate one stand-in per turn. That's a powerful effect, but it's such a wonky activation condition that I don't know how frequently you're going to be able to do that. Ice Queen. Level 8 Water Spellcaster, 2900 attack, 2100 defense. It's a reprint monster, or a reprinted card. Cannot be special summoned from the graveyard. When this face-up card you control is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can target a spell card in your graveyard and add it to your hand. However, you must have 3 or more spellcaster-type monsters in your graveyard to activate and resolve that effect. So basically, it's a very powerful spellcaster that recovers one of your spell cards if she happens to be destroyed or sent or whatever it was. Got another Boost Warrior. We got Apple Magician Girl. Level 3 Fire Spellcaster, 1200 attack, 800 defense. Once per turn, if this card is targeted for an attack, you can special summon one level 5 or lower spellcaster type monster from your hand, then change the attack target to it, and if you do, the attacking monster's attack becomes half its current attack. Is Dark Magician Girl a level 5, or is she a level 6? I don't remember. Because if Dark Magician Girl is a level 5, that's pretty good. Especially since you're having the attacking monster's attack in the process. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target up to 3 other Magician Girl monsters with different names in your graveyard and add them to your hand. Okay, so meant to get out a high-level Magician Girl and then recover stuff from your graveyard when she's destroyed. Magicalized Fusion. Regular spell card. Fusion summon one spellcaster type fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials listed on it from your field or graveyard. You can only activate one Magicalized Fusion per turn. This is an amazing spell card since it lets you fuse with your graveyard. You don't have to have stuff on the field in the hand, which means you don't have to try and skirt around not playing certain things if you're aiming to fusion summon something. I love cards that let you do that. Continuing on, let's open up another set of 10. Let's keep this fun train rolling. Another Omega Summon, Gravekeeper's Heretic, Ancient Gear Reborn, so first pack of all duplicates, pack number 21. Gold Ripples, super rare maybe? Maybe. Power Frame, Turret Warrior, and Quintet Magician. Holy crap. Level 12 Dark Spellcaster Fusion, 4500 attack and defense. Requires 5 spellcaster type monsters. Must be fusion summoned. If this card is fusion summoned using 5 spellcaster type monsters with different names, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls. This face-up card on the field cannot be tributed nor used as fusion material. Also, it cannot be destroyed by card effects. So that's what the Magicalized Fusion is meant to help you do. You get a whole bunch of, spellcasters on the field in the graveyard, plenty of ways for you to do that. Fuse them all to create Quintet Magician and win, basically. It's a very powerful fusion monster. Holy cow. Dimension Explosion. Quick play spell card. Return one face-up fusion monster you control to the extra deck. Both players select up to 2 of their monsters that are removed from play and special summon them. I think I remember from messing around with this card many months ago that I don't think this will let you, I don't think the game will let you use this card if your opponent doesn't have anything that's banished. Which seems a bit odd, because in my opinion, the fact that it says select up to 2, that would also include 0. So as far as I'm concerned, if your opponent doesn't have any monsters, any banished monsters at all, you should still be able to use this card, but game wouldn't let me. So, weird reprinted quick play, but anyway. Dimension Mirage. Continuous trap card. Activate this card by targeting one face-up attack position monster your opponent controls. At the end of the damage step, when it attacks a monster, but the attack target was not destroyed by battle, you can banish one monster from your graveyard. It must attack again in a row. If the targeted monster leaves the field, destroy this card. Okay, so I don't necessarily understand why you would use this card. Because odds are, like, I mean, unless it's a monster like Gyroid that says it has to be, like, attacked twice, or, like, you know, the first time it's destroyed by battle, it isn't actually destroyed by battle. Yeah, weird trap. We got an ultra rare, Necro Valley Throne. Regular spell card, activate one of these effects. Add a Gravekeeper's monster from your deck to your hand, or, immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon one Gravekeeper's monster. You can only activate one Necro Valley Throne per turn. That's a very nice spell. You play a Gravekeepers, you use this, you immediately tribute it for a stronger Gravekeepers, search out whatever Gravekeeper you need from your deck. Very nice spell. I like that spell. Another Celtic Guard, Karakuri Gold Dust, Elemental Training, Gravekeeper's Watcher. Level 4 Dark Spellcaster, 1000 attack and defense. During either player's turn, when your opponent activates a spell, trap card, or monster effect that could make them discard when it resolves, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard to negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. So, you can use this to negate an opponent's spell that would make them discard a card? The only thing that's coming to mind that would be useful against is Tribute to the Doomed. Because that says, you know, discard a monster, or, you know, discard a card from your hand, then target an opponent's monster and destroy it. But otherwise, like, I'm sure there are situations, I just can't think of them. Magician's Defense. Continuous trap card. While you control a spellcaster type monster, any damage you take is halved. You also cannot have the same damage twice this way, so if you have 2, you don't get to quarter damage, it's always just going to be halved. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target a spellcaster type monster in your graveyard and special summon it. That effect is really good. I've brought this up with other cards before, but stuff like Double Cyclone and Parallel Twister, I think it's called. They're spell cards that let you, like, basically destroy one of your own spell traps to target and destroy an opponent's card. Activation timing might be a little bit weird, so I don't actually know if that will work, but it's worth a try. And plus, I mean, if you just leave this set and your opponent wastes their spell trap destruction on it, you could just get a free spellcaster, so that's pretty cool. And we got another Nishipachi, Dark Shade, Samurai Destroyer, and Gravekeeper's Supernaturalist. Alright, that's a level 7 Dark Spellcaster Fusion, 2000 attack and defense. Accepts any 2 Gravekeeper's monsters. Gains attack and defense equal to the combined original levels of the materials used for its fusion summon times 100. Cool, so if you use 2... Wow, if you use 2 level 4s, that's an immediate 800 extra attack and defense. This thing's actually a lot stronger than I thought. While Necro Valley is on the field, this card and any card in your field zone can't be destroyed by card effects. That's really cool. During your main phase, you can activate this effect. During the end phase of your turn, add 1 Gravekeeper's monster or 1 Necro Valley card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Gravekeeper's Supernaturalist once per turn. I like this fusion. Honestly, seeing all these Gravekeepers, it's kind of making me want to build a Gravekeeper's deck. Necro Valley Temple. Continuous trap card. While a Gravekeeper's monster and Necro Valley are both on the field, monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack and defense. Once per turn during the main phase, if you control no card in your field zone, you can activate 1 Necro Valley directly from your hand or graveyard. Cool. So, say your opponent does manage to destroy your Necro Valley somehow, if you still have a copy in your hand, you can just activate Temple's effect and just replay it, basically. That's cool. If this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's effect and sent to the graveyard, you can set 1 Necro Valley spell trap directly from your deck, except for Necro Valley Temple. That's cool. That's really cool. Dwimmered Glimmer. Alright. Continuous trap card. Activate this card by banishing one face-up monster you control or one monster in your graveyard. Special summon this card as a normal monster. Spellcaster, light, attack and defense of 0 with the same level as that banished monster. This card is also still treated as a trap. You can only activate one Dwimmered Glimmer per turn. Okay, so creates a token of a variable level. That can be good for synchro summoning. Pardon me. I had to drink. Evil Swarm Azathoth. That's a lot of worm monsters all mashed together. I'm interested. What exactly is like the in-game lore behind these evil swarms? Because I know that some archetypes kind of have their own little like lore stories around them. But anyway, level 4 Dark Reptile, 750 attack, 1950 defense. Flip effect. Target one special summon monster on the field and shuffle that target into the deck. That's really nice. That gets rid of synchro summon monsters. That gets rid of fusion summon monsters. So many strategies rely on special summoning, and that thing just messes with all of them. Power Frame, Kiwi Magician Girl, Gravekeeper's Descendant, Gravekeeper Spiritualist, Element Saber Aina. Level 2 Earth Warrior, 900 attack, 1800 defense. Once per turn, you can send an Element Saber monster from your hand to the graveyard, then target one Element Saber monster except Aina, or Elemental Lord monster that has been properly summoned in your graveyard and special summon it, ignoring its summoning conditions. Once per turn, if this card is in the graveyard, you can declare an attribute. This card in the graveyard becomes the attribute. I have not found an Element Lord yet, but it's interesting that it has that footnote of saying the Elemental Lord has to have been properly summoned for you to then ignore its summoning conditions. So I wonder what exactly the thing is. And we got another Ice Queen. Sword Slasher, Turret Warrior, Dark Magic Veil. Alright. So that was 30 packs. I definitely want to go for 40. I'm having fun seeing all these interesting cards. This is a fascinating box. We have Lemon Magician Girl. In case you're wondering about the weird names, specifically the names of all 5 of the new Magician Girl monsters, if you put them in a certain order, the first letter of their names spell out the word black, which is a reference to the fact that Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl are known as Black Magician and Black Magician Girl in the original Japanese. So that's why they all have these weird names. I think it's like berry, lemon, apple, choco, and kiwi, I think that's the 5. I can't remember. I'm blanking on choco, but I'm pretty sure the other one, it's berry and then like lemon, apple, and kiwi we've already found. So anyway, level 2 light spellcaster, 800 attack, 600 defense. Once per turn, you contribute one Magician Girl monster except Lemon Magician Girl. Add one spellcaster type monster from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, if this card is targeted for an attack, you can special summon one Magician Girl, you can special summon one spellcaster type monster from your hand, but its effects, if any, are negated. Then change the attack target to it, and if you do, the attacking monster's attack becomes half its current attack. Alright, so kind of similar to what Apple could do, except you contribute another Magician Girl to search out a spellcaster from your deck, which is pretty cool. Element Saber Mallow. Ooh, Judgment of Anubis. Is that oh no, this isn't the card that I'm thinking of. I don't remember the counter trap the name of the counter trap I was thinking of, but this one isn't it. Judgment of Anubis, a reprinted card, counter trap. When your opponent activates a spell card that would destroy a spell trap card on the field, discard a card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. Then you can destroy one face-up monster your opponent controls, and if you do that, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the destroyed monster's attack on the field. So basically, long story short, if your opponent tries to use a spell that would take out one of your spell traps, you can use this thing, and at the cost of one card, you negate that spell trap, you can take out one of their monsters, and deal a hefty amount of burn damage to their life points. So it's a good counter trap, but very specific activation requirements. Can't be used against traps, can't be used against monster effects. Has to be a spell card. Dwimmered Glimmer, Ancient Gear Gadgetron Dragon. The level 8 Earth Machine, 3000 attack, 2000 defense. I can't read that text because it's shrunken down really small, so I'll just have to check it in the card overview after we finish opening these packs. Karakuri Gold Dust, Gravekeeper's Watcher, Azathoth, Cast Shed, Dark Magic Twin Burst, Gravekeeper's Guard. Level 4 Dark Spellcaster, 1000 attack, 1900 defense. Flip effect, target one monster your opponent controls, return that target to the hand. I'm down for that card. Especially since this is one thing that really kind of weirds me out. So a few boxes ago, Konami added the monster Wall of Illusion to the game, which works similarly to Gravekeeper's Guard. Well, actually, I guess Wall of Illusion does have... I was thinking Gravekeeper's Guard was just a straight upgrade of Wall of Illusion, since Wall of Illusion also sends monsters back to your opponent's hand, but it's an ultra rare, whilst this is just a rare. But then I remembered that 1, Wall of Illusion isn't a flip effect monster, and 2, Wall of Illusion returns any monster that fights with it to your opponent's hand. So even if it gets destroyed in battle, whatever destroyed it still gets kicked back into your opponent's hand. So Guard's not quite as good, now that I actually thought about it. Rogue of Endymion. Level 3 Fire Spellcaster, 1500 attack, 200 defense. If this card is normal or special summoned, place a spell counter on it. You can remove one spell counter from this card and discard a spellcaster type monster. Set one continuous spell directly from your deck, but for the rest of this turn you cannot activate it or activate cards or the effects of a card with the same name. You can only use each effect of Rogue of Endymion once per turn, so it lets you search out a continuous spell at least. That's pretty cool. You do have to protect it for a turn, and plus your opponent will know what it is, so they could just destroy it, but still, pretty cool. Charm of Shabti. Level 1 Earth Rock, 100 attack and defense. During either player's turn, you can discard this card. Till the end phase, Gravekeeper's monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. That's a nice card. That's a nice little addition to Gravekeepers. And then we got another Nishibachi. Furin Kazan. Reprint card, regular trap. When there is a face-up wind, water, fire, and earth monster on the field, apply one of these effects. You can destroy all monsters your opponent controls, destroy all spell and trap cards your opponent controls, discard 2 random cards from your opponent's hand, or just draw 2 cards. Obviously, if you're just playing this straight, you will need your opponent to have one of those 4 elements. There are a couple cards in the game that can technically do this, since they say, like, I am also this attribute, and this attribute, and this attribute, but they're very, very rare and kind of low on the stat, like attack and defense, if I remember. Please excuse me for just a second. Gotta blow my nose. Okay, just a few seconds, but I might end up just making a quick cut just to save that time. Anyway, moving on. Another Master Craftsman Gamel, another Gadultron Dragon, another Element Saber Makani, another stand-in, Invoked Cocytus? I don't actually know how to pronounce that. Level 6 Water Dragon Fusion, 1800 attack, 2900 defense. Wow. A combination of Alistair the Invoker and 1 water monster. Cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. This card can attack while in face-up defense position, but if it does, apply its attack for damage calculation. That's a weird monster. Pretty cool that it can't be targeted by card effects, though, I'm not going to lie. So you could just leave it as a wall, and then whenever the possibility arises, you can just use it to get a cheap shot in on your opponent. That's pretty cool, honestly. Dark Shade, Element Saber Mallow, Metal Hold the Moving Blockade. Continuous Trap card. Activate this card by targeting any number of level 4 machine-type monsters you control. Special summon this card as an effect monster, Earth type, Machine type, Earth, level 4, 0 attack, 0 defense. Then equip those face-up monsters to this card. This card is also still a trap card. If summoned this way, this card gains attack equal to the combined attack of the monsters equipped to it by this effect. Monsters your opponent controls cannot target monsters you control for attacks except this one. Also, your opponent cannot target monsters you control with card effects except this one. Okay, so it shields all of your other monsters. And I think this is basically like a little version of... it's another trap monster. What is it? Stronghold the Moving Fortress or something like that? It's like a big... It's a powerful trap, like... It's another trap card that summons itself as a monster, and it has no attack and defense normally. But I think its effect says that if red, green, and yellow gadgets are on the field, it goes up to like 3,000 attack or something crazy like that. Obviously, you can't do that because we only have 3 monster zones in this game. But it's interesting that this thing doesn't specify gadgets. It just says level 4 machine types. So if you have, I don't know, say 2 X-head cannons, that's a 1800 attack, level 4 machine. Summon metal hold, equip it with both. Suddenly you have a 3600 attack point monster. Kinda strong, that's all I'm saying. Another Kiwi Magician Girl, Sword Slasher, Arnis the Empowered Warrior. Level 4 Fire Warrior, 1700 attack, 1200 defense. When this card you control is destroyed by battle with an opponent's attacking monster and sent to your graveyard, you can special summon one spellcaster type monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck in attack position. Very nice card. Lots of synergy. Gravekeeper's Heretic, Fusion Weapon, and Magicalized Fusion. Okay. So as for that Gadgetron Dragon, let's see here. Level 8 Earth Machine, 3000 attack, 2000 defense. If this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate any spell trap cards until the end of the damage step. This card gains the appropriate effects if you normal summon it by tributing these monsters. If you tribute a green gadget, if this card attacks a defense position monster, it can do piercing battle damage. If you tributed a red gadget, if this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, inflict an additional 400 points of damage. And if you attributed a yellow gadget, if this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, inflict 600 damage to your opponent. So basically a green gadget plus either one of the other two, and this thing is very destructive. Alright. You know what, we're going on an hour, but it's been a while since I've done one of these, and I kind of feel bad for going so long without actually doing a pack opening, so let's go ahead and open up at least another 10. Probably the last set of 10, just because my throat's starting to get dry, but I might be tempted, that's all I'm saying. Especially since I got a rainbow pack. Unless there's... No, I think in the ultra rare row, a synchro would be way over on the left, so I don't think we got an ultra rare, but we probably got the super rare. Element Saber Nalu, Element Training. We got Karakuri Steel Shogun Model 00X Buredo. A level 8 Earth Machine Synchro, 2800 attack, 1700 defense. Accepts any tuner and any non-tuner machine type monsters. When this card is synchro summoned, you can special summon one Karakuri monster from your deck, and then once per turn, when the battle position of a Karakuri monster you control is changed and it remains face up, you can draw a card. Alright. It's a pretty good synchro. I don't remember a whole bunch of the Karakuris right now, but I remember them being at least somewhat good. Stand in, Boot Up Soldier, Dread Dynamo. Ally of Justice Quarantine. Level 4 Dark Machine, 1700 attack, 1200 defense. Neither player can special summon light monsters. Alright. A bit less useful with the DNA transplant and just changing everything to light, since DNA transplant doesn't actually affect stuff in your opponent's hand, but anyway. We got another Charm of Shabti, we've got another Karakuri Clock, another Supernaturalist. Tuning Gum, that is... I'm going to be seeing that in my nightmares tonight. Level 1 Dark Fiend Tuner, 400 attack, 1200 defense. You can target one face-up monster you control. That face-up monster is treated as a tuner this turn. You can only use this effect of Tuning Gum once per turn. You can only attack with synchro monsters during the turn you activate this effect. During either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that targets exactly one synchro monster you control and no other cards, you can banish this card from the graveyard to negate the activation. That last effect is actually pretty good, but I'm not entirely sure why you'd want to turn another monster into a tuner, because this thing itself is a tuner. So you basically have to have 2 monsters in play, one of which you would turn into a tuner. You would create some synchro monster, and then you would use the other tuner with that synchro monster to make a bigger synchro monster. So it's a bit convoluted, but doable? Question mark? Alright, Dark Horizon, Gravekeeper Supernaturalist, Element Saber Aina, Magician's Defense, Arnis the Empowered Warrior, Element Saber Nalu, Gravekeeper Spiritualist, Element Saber Lapuila? I think. Level 4 Light Warrior, 400 attack, 2100 defense. Once per turn, when a spell trap card is activated as a quick effect, you can send one Element Saber monster from your hand to the graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. That's a good effect. I like that effect. And the other ones of, like searching and shuffling them around and special summoning, that's all good, but negating your opponent's spell and trap cards is really nice. Once per turn, if this card is in the graveyard, you can clear an attribute. This card in the graveyard becomes that attribute until the end of the turn. I'm convinced that that second effect has something to do with the Elemental Lords, but I'm not finding any. Ancient Gear, Gazzle Shrunk Chimera, Gravekeeper's Ambusher. Level 4 Dark Spellcaster, 1700 attack, no defense. When this card is flipped face up, you can target one card in your opponent's graveyard, place that target on the bottom of their deck. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard after being flipped face up, you can target one Necro Valley card in your graveyard, add that target to your hand. This card's effects cannot be negated by the effect of Necro Valley. So I suppose if your opponent has something in the graveyard that you don't really want to stay there, this is good. But, I mean, then again, it is a 1700 attack point spellcaster. That's just kind of good in general. Another Quarantine, Charm of Shabti, Malo, Dark Horizon. Yeah, I'm going to open up another set of 10. This 10 flew by. Keymace, Paradox Fusion, Lapuila. Oh, super rare? Ultra rare? Something? Lemon Magician Girl, Rite of Spirit, and Gravekeeper's Headman. No, it was a fake out. It's just a rare. Boo. Level 3 Dark Spellcaster, 500 attack, 1500 defense. If this card is summoned, you can target one level 4 Gravekeeper's monster in your graveyard, special summon it in attack position or face down defense position. That's cool. Revives as a Gravekeeper's. You can only use this effect of Gravekeeper's Headman once per turn. This effect is unaffected by Necro Valley. For anyone who's wondering why they keep saying this is unaffected by Necro Valley, this is unaffected by Necro Valley. Necro Valley is a field spell that basically says that neither player can special summon from the graveyard nor activate effects that target stuff in the graveyard. So a lot of the Gravekeepers have that I'm unaffected by Necro Valley so that you don't lock out your own monster effects, basically. Yeah, I'm opening up another 10. That last set just flew past. I'd really like to get another ultra rare. Please let me get another ultra rare. We got Foden Kazan, Pandemic Dragon, Gravekeeper's Nobleman. Level 3 Dark Spellcaster, 1000 attack and defense. When this card you control is destroyed by battle with an opponent's attacking monster and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Gravekeeper's monster from your deck in face down defense position except Gravekeeper's Nobleman. You can actually combo that pretty well with Gravekeeper's Guard. We did get the Rainbow Sparkles, we got another Horrifying Tuning Gum, got another Supernaturalist, and we got Berry Magician Girl. Level 1 Earth Spellcaster, 400 attack, 400 defense. If this card is normal summoned, you can add one Magician Girl monster from your deck to your hand. Once per turn during either player's turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets this card, or targets this card for an attack, you can change this card's battle position, and if you do, special summon a Magician Girl monster from your deck, except for Berry Magician Girl. That's a really nice effect. You can just normal summon it, add any Magician Girl you want/need, and then if your opponent tries to, just attack the easy 400 attack point monster, change her into defense mode and special summon a Dark Magician Girl. Easy peasy. Very nice. Very nice. Alright. Gravekeeper Shaman, Keymace, Ice Queen, Karakuri Gold Dust, Faceless Mage, Fusion Weapon, Element Saber Aina, Dark Magic Twin Burst, Apple Magician Girl, Shaman, Cash Shed, Clock, Boost Warrior, Clock, Headman. I'm tempted to do another 10, I'm not gonna lie. Spiritualist, Invoked Caligula, Magicalized Fusion, especially since, what was that, like the second or third fake out we've gotten so far? I kind of zoned out and I wasn't actually paying attention to see if the rippling effect was blue or gold, but I think it was gold and that was another fake out. Necro Valley Temple, Ice Queen, Magicalized Fusion. Okay, that was a rainbow. I saw it for a split second. Dark Magic Twin Burst, Power Frame, and Chocolate Magician Girl. Oh, she's an ultra rare. Jeez. Alright. Level 4 Water Spellcaster, 1600 attack, 1000 defense. Once per turn, you can discard a Spellcaster type monster, draw a card. Once per turn, if this card is targeted for an attack, you can target one Spellcaster type monster in your graveyard, except Chocolate Magician Girl, special summon it, then change the attack target to it, and if you do, the attacking monster's attack becomes half its current attack. That's why you are an ultra rare. You can just have any high level spellcaster you want, for the most part. Use Chocolate Magician Girl, throw that high level spellcaster into the graveyard, get a free card in exchange, and then if your opponent tries to attack Chocolate Magician Girl, just revive the super powerful spellcaster. Alright, yeah, no wonder you're an ultra rare. Holy cow. Nah, this video's already been dragging on for an hour and I don't want to make it too much longer, so let's just go ahead and check out the cards that I did not get. So starting with the ultra rares, we have Palladium Oracle Mahad, level 7 light spellcaster, 2500 attack, 2100 defense. When you draw this card, you can reveal this card and special summon it from your hand. I'm sorry, what? When you draw it, you just get to play it for free? Okay. If this card battles a dark monster, its attack is doubled during the damage step only. Alright, plenty of ways to abuse that effect too. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon a Dark Magician from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Sure, why not? Make this thing even more broken. Holy crap, and considering how reluctant Konami seems to be to put ultra rares on like the limited list, this thing is going to become a pain in the ass really fast, I can tell. Moving on, there's Alistair the Invoker. Of course you're an ultra rare. Level 4 Dark Spellcaster, 1000 attack, 1800 defense. During either player's turn, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, then target a fusion monster you control, gains 1000 attack and defense until the end of this turn. If this card is normal, summoned, or flip face up, you can add one invocation from your deck to your hand. Invocation? I don't think I saw a card like that. Continuing on, Element Saber Molehu, level 4 Dark Warrior, 1900 attack, 0 defense. Once per turn, as a quick effect, you can send one Element Saber monster from your hand to the graveyard, then target a face-up monster on the field and change it to face-down defense position. And then once per turn, if it's in the graveyard, you can change its attribute to anything you want until the end of the turn. Alright, Thunder Dragon Hawk, level 6 Light Thunder, 1800 attack, 2200 defense. You can discard this card, special summon one of your Thunder Dragon monsters that is banished or in your graveyard, except Thunder Dragon Hawk. If this card is banished or sent from the field to the graveyard, you can shuffle any number of cards from your hand into the deck, then draw the same number of cards. You can only use one Thunder Dragon Hawk effect per turn, and only once that turn. For anyone that is wondering, the new Mokuba, who is in this new version of Duel World, has quite a few Thunder Dragon, like new Thunder Dragon cards that you can get as card rewards for beating him, so this thing is obviously meant to work with those. Continuing on, we have Chaos Sorcerer, level 6 Dark Spellcaster, 2300 attack, 2000 defense, cannot be normal summoned set, must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing a light and a dark monster from your graveyard. Once per turn, you can target a face-up monster on the field and just banish it. However, this card cannot attack the turn you activate this effect. So, very, very, very powerful spellcaster. And then, Invocation, here we go. Fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand as fusion materials. Has to specifically be from the hand, okay. If summoning an invoked fusion monster this way, you can also banish monsters from your field and or either player's graveyard as fusion materials. That's cool, letting you fuse with your opponent's dead monsters. It's interesting. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target one of your banished Alistair the Invoker, shuffle this card into the deck, and if you do, add that card to your hand. You can only use this effective invocation once per turn. Okay, that's actually very nice. That lets you reuse it like that. I was afraid it was going to kind of be like some of the other ultra rares, like Chaos Magician and Palladium Oracle, and to a somewhat lesser extent, Chocolate Magician Girl, where it's kind of encouraging you to buy out the box multiple times so you can get multiple copies. But the fact that you can just reuse invocation is kind of nice. And I got this somehow. I think you might actually get a copy of Necro Valley for leveling up Ishizu to a certain point. But I'll go ahead and cover it here because it is a card that I didn't actually get out of the box. Necro Valley. Field spell card. All Gravekeeper's monsters gain 500 attack and defense. Cards in the graveyard cannot be banished. Negate any card effect that would move a card in the graveyard to a different place. And negate any card effect that changes types or attributes in the graveyard. So like I said, it basically keeps both players... It would normally keep both players from messing with the graveyards at all, but a lot of the Gravekeepers have a clause that say, I am unaffected by Necro Valley, so you can still use their effects. Now continuing on to the super rares, we have Gravekeeper's Spy, level 4 Dark Spellcaster, 1200 attack, 2000 defense. Flip effect, special summon one Gravekeeper's monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck. Very cool. Very cool, especially if you have Necro Valley in play already. Because that would make Gravekeeper Spy a 2500 defense monster. Yep, 2500 defense 4-star. That would then let you play effectively a 2000 attack monster. Alright. Red Gadget, level 4 Earth Machine, 1300 attack, 1500 defense. When this card is normal or special summoned, you can add a Yellow Gadget from your deck to your hand. And Yellow Gadget, level 4 Earth Machine, 1200 attack, 1200 defense. When this card is normal or special summoned, you can add a Green Gadget from your deck to your hand. So, yellow summons green, green summons red, red summons yellow. Palace of the Elemental Lords. Field spell card. All monsters you control gain attack and defense equal to the number of different attributes in your graveyard times 200. Once per turn, you can add one Element Saber monster from your deck to your hand, but skip the battle phase of your next turn, even if this card leaves the field. Interesting, so you can still attack during this turn, just not the next turn. Alright. Once per turn, if an Element Saber monster in your hand or field would send a card from the hand to the graveyard to activate an effect, you can send that many Element Saber monsters from your deck to the graveyard instead. Alright, so grave thinning. Wait, something just clicked in my head. I think I know what the Elemental Lords actually are. I want to look that up after I'm done with the box. Hold on. So I'm going to put that thought aside. Wiseman's Chalice. If you control regular spell card, sorry. If you control no monsters, select one monster in your opponent's graveyard and special summon it. It cannot be attributed or used as synchro material, and during the end phase of this turn, give control of that special summoned monster to your opponent. Still fuse with it, if compatible. You could attack with it, so maybe use that when you think you might have the dual 1. But looking at the rest of this, it looks like I got every normal and every rare, so cool. Very quick little box recap. So if you're only here for the pack opening, then pack opening's done. I hope you guys enjoyed, but I just want to check and see if these Elemental Lords are exactly what I'm thinking about. And if they are, actually not the deck editor. Why did I go to the deck editor? Hold on, back up. Card catalog, here we go. These Elemental Lords are the cards I'm thinking of. It's very weird that they would add stuff to, like, support them. Elemental Lord, and I'm just going to double check and make sure that I didn't accidentally... Okay, I didn't accidentally push the button to stop recording. Elemental Lord. Yeah, it's these things. So, Pyrorex the Elemental Lord, Umbra Image the Elemental Lord, Windrose... Yeah, these... This is weird to me. Because if I look at how to obtain Pyrorex... Yeah, the only way to get this thing is from 2 events that haven't been held in months, or from some specific login bonus that they held who knows how long ago. I'm pretty sure Windrose is the same way. Yeah. Oh no, Windrose you can get from dual ticket, from spending a UR dual ticket. And Umbra Image, or Umbra Mirage, yeah, missing event, ultra rare ticket, or random login bonus. So it's weird that they would add cards to support what are for the most part event exclusive cards. I mean, I guess they're not technically event exclusive since you can get 2 of the 3 by spending your ultra rare tickets, but I'm sure there's got to be other stuff you can spend your ultra rare tickets on. Hold on, so the thing with the elemental lords is that they can only be special summoned from your hand if you have exactly 5 of their attribute monster in the graveyard. So that explains why these guys all can say that you can declare an attribute and they change to be that while they're in the graveyard for that turn. So like I could use any combination of these that I wanted to, and then once I drew, say, Umber Mirage, I could go through and change 5 of them to become dark monsters, and then I could special summon Umber Mirage. So let's look at Umber Mirage, for example. If this card is special summoned, you can add a monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck to your hand. Okay. You can only use this effect once per turn, and if this face-up card leaves the field, you can skip the battle phase of your next turn. Does that have any overlap with this? No, not really. Okay, what about Windrose? When this card is special summoned, destroy all spell and trap cards your opponent controls. Okay, that one's actually good. That one's actually good. Umber Mirage, I mean, it's got a lot of attack. Maybe you could find a good monster with 1500 attack, but Windrose is actually pretty decent. So Windrose I can see adding support to. Pyrorex can't be received by a ticket. He is only through all these little events. And when this thing is special summoned, you can target one monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and if you do, both players take damage equal to half the original attack of the destroyed monster. So, kinda good, I guess, if you have the life points to cushion that. But I see primarily Windrose. Of the 3 elemental lords that are available, I like Windrose the most. I still just find it weird that they added quite a few cards, including a super rare, for such otherwise difficult to obtain cards that you can't even get in the same box. That's the weird thing. Usually when there's support, it's for either stuff that's really easy to get, like say Dark Magicians, because you can just get those by dueling Yami Yugi, or it's for other stuff that's, you know, in the box. So that just caught me off guard a little bit there, but anyway, yeah, that was the already blanking on the name. What was it called? The Dark Dimension box. That was all of the cards in the Dark Dimension box, as well as the Masters of Chaos structure deck. It took me a while because, well, it just took me a while to read a lot of the effects, and I opened a whole bunch of packs because I wanted to and I was having fun. So there. Anyway, with that, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all had a great time, and I hope you all have a great day. And I will see you all in the next one.